It's difficult. That was very hard. I will be honest, doing the training itself is not enough. It just doesn't work like that, unfortunately. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we will be talking about my journey to becoming an aesthetic nurse. I am not kidding when I say that I get asked this question almost every single day on my Nurse Marie Beauty Instagram account. I have already filmed my journey to becoming a registered nurse here on my channel, and it is one of my top performing videos. So I thought, why not make the same type of video, but this time on my journey to becoming an aesthetic nurse. Now, I will say that I do live in Quebec, in Canada. So the procedure that it takes to become an aesthetic nurse here might not be the same elsewhere, but I'm pretty sure that it will resemble each other. If you're new here, hi, my name is Marie and I am so glad that you clicked on today's video. I do post one video every single week on Mondays at 12 p.m. EST, so make sure to subscribe and stick around for all my future videos. Without further ado, let's just get right into it. So one thing that I'll get into right away is that in order to inject Botox and fillers, you need to be a nurse or a doctor. I have so many people almost every single day writing to me in my DMs saying how interested they are in offering Botox and fillers to their clients, but they are not nurses. They can be makeup artists or lash techs, and of course they are so interested in this domain because it is part of, you know, beauty treatments. But in order to inject and use needles, you do need to be a nurse or a doctor. So of course, the first thing you need to do is become a registered nurse, and that is exactly what I did. So that is quite a few years ago. I did do the program to become a registered nurse, and then now I am also finishing up my bachelor's program to get the bachelor's degree in sciences of nursing. So I won't speak too much about the whole registered nurse aspect of this because I did explain it all very detailed in that video that I already filmed, so I definitely recommend checking that one out. So basically, I became a registered nurse, and then in Quebec, you need to be part of the Quebec Order of Nurses. So basically, doing the training itself is not enough. After you have completed the training in college, then you need to pass the order exam, which I did, and that is enough to become an aesthetic nurse. You do not need your bachelor's. I am doing it just for my own personal reasons, but if you want to become an aesthetic nurse, it is not necessary to go get your bachelor's. So honestly, this is where the tricky part starts. When you go to school to become a nurse, you do not see aesthetic nursing at all. You will see that in the training for nursing, you really see a lot of things. You see psych, you see how to work with kids, you see how to work with the elderly, you see how to work in palliative care. Of course, you just see general medicine. You see so many different things. Even in our biology classes, we really study all the systems of the body and just the body as a whole, but you never get into the face itself. That being said, you can't just apply to clinics and say, hey, I'd like to become an aesthetic nurse. I'm a nurse and I want to work at your clinic. That just isn't enough because you don't have the proper training to be an aesthetic nurse. You need to get a separate training that is going to be private. There is no public trainings here in Quebec for that. And also when it comes to aesthetic nursing, there is not one way of doing things. So here's a little example. Let's say we take this syringe right here, and this is used for insulin, right? So if someone is diabetic and you work at the hospital, you will take their blood sugar level, and then depending on the result that you were given, you are going to determine how many units of insulin you need to inject in your patient. And it doesn't matter if you live in Canada or in the United States of America or really anywhere, that is the procedure that you are going to perform. When it comes to aesthetic nursing, it is not the same at all. There is not one way of doing things. So when we go to school to become a nurse, we are all taught the same thing. When it comes to aesthetic nursing, every doctor has their own way of doing things. Now, of course, course, what doesn't change is the anatomy of the face. During that aesthetic nursing training, you will learn about the anatomy of the face, all the muscles, all the arteries, which is super duper important because you are going to be injecting in the face. And I mean, we can't see our muscles and arteries, so you need to know exactly where they are. Now, finding a doctor that is going to teach you their ways is not easy. I don't know about elsewhere in Quebec, but in Quebec, that was very hard. I will be honest and say that I had sleepless nights because there isn't a doctor that is going to say, hey, grab you by the hand, he's going to teach you his way, and then you are just going to work as an aesthetic nurse. It just doesn't work like that, unfortunately. If you happen to maybe know a doctor, it can be that simple. He can just teach you how to do it, and you can now work as an aesthetic nurse. But for the most part, I mean, I don't know any doctors that do that. So what I had to do was pay for this training. Now, here was the problem. Of course, it's easy to go to a clinic, pay for a training, and now you have the training to be an aesthetic nurse. But here's the hard part. Aesthetic nursing positions here in Quebec are really not available. So I was interested in like 5 or 6 different clinics here in Montreal that were offering the aesthetic nursing training. But here was the catch. None of them gave you a job position after your training. And that was super important to me because even if I would have gone and spent all that money to get that certificate, what was I going to do with that certificate after? Of course, I can maybe apply to certain clinics, but like I said, clinics are just not looking for people right now. So basically, I found a clinic that was offering the training and then also gave you a position as an aesthetic nurse at their clinic. Honestly, just the fact that I had that job after the training is really what sold me. Now, of course, that's not the only thing. Before even putting down the deposit or anything, I did go and spend a full day at the clinic with the owner. She did show me around. I spoke to her. I spoke to the doctors. I saw the whole place. They really explained me how everything was going to be. And then I just honestly fell in love with the clinic and also fell in love with everyone that is working there. So it was just an easy yes to do the training there and following the training work there. So that is really my journey to becoming an aesthetic nurse. It's difficult. Like I said, you really need to find that training and then find a job as an aesthetic nurse, which is not easy to find right now in Montreal. If I lived in LA, I'm sure it would be much easier to find a position as an aesthetic nurse. But here in Montreal, there really aren't that many. So yeah, guys, there it is. It's really that. This video is going to be much shorter than my journey to becoming a registered nurse because really the longest part is really becoming a nurse itself. And then after that, basically, you just need to get a separate training that is going to specialize you in medical aesthetics and then find a job that you can work as an aesthetic nurse. And then there you go. There you have it. Now it's time to build up your clientele. I also get a lot of questions on how it works salary wise. So basically, I do not have a salary. I am self-employed, and so basically the clinic that I am working at is my partner. We work together, so they do not pay me any vacations. If it's a holiday, they won't pay me. I am really 100% self-employed. I think I answered all the questions that people ask me, but it can be that I forgot anything. So if I did, please leave them in the comments down below and I will answer you. If you are interested in learning more about aesthetic nursing, make sure to follow my Instagram at Nurse Marie Beauty, because on there I am basically posting every single day. I also have a social media manager that helps me out with that account. So together we really have created such a great team and we are offering my followers such great educational content, and I've received such great feedback from this account. So I highly suggest you guys going to follow it. We put so much hard work and effort into it, so make sure to go share it some love. So that's it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe to this channel to see more aesthetic nursing content, and leave me any suggestions you have of what I can film down below in the comments. I am very open to hearing your recommendations. Like this video if you enjoyed it and if you learned something new. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll just catch you guys in the next one. Bye!